Welcome back to my channel, Valuable Rare Coins. If you love discovering hidden treasures in your pocket change, you're in the right place. First, we'll uncover some of the most valuable and rare US coins that could be worth a fortune. Let's dive in. We're diving into one of the most talked about and mysterious coins in modern American coinage, the US presidential $1 coin, specifically the one minted in 2009 to honor the 12th President of the United States, Zachary Taylor. Now, at first glance, this golden dollar coin may not seem all that different. It's got a nice luster, a portrait of President Taylor, and some inscriptions around the rim. But don't be fooled, because this particular coin has some secrets that even seasoned collectors are still hunting for. And if you're lucky enough to find one with the right details, let's just say it could be worth far more than you'd ever expect. Let's rewind a bit and talk about what makes the presidential $1 series so special. Launched in 2007, the United States Mint released a series of golden-colored $1 coins, each one featuring a former U.S. president in the order they served. It was part of an effort to honor America's leaders while also sparking public interest in dollar coins, something the U.S. government had been trying to make more popular for decades. By the time we got to 2009, we were on the 12th president, Zachary Taylor, a man known for his military career and brief but impactful presidency. The coin honoring him was struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with the P and D marks respectively. Millions were made, but only a few turned out to be extraordinary. You see, while most 2009 Zachary Taylor coins are simply commemorative, there's a rare variation minted in Philadelphia. That's the one with the small p. That has caused a lot of buzz in the numismatic world. What makes this version stand out isn't just the president on the front, but what's missing, or sometimes what's wrong. Yes, you heard that right. Some of these coins were struck with minting errors or rare die variations that never should have made it into circulation. From missing edge lettering, to doubled inscriptions, to anomalies in the metal composition, these are the kinds of mistakes that drive collectors wild. Even more fascinating? Some versions of the 2009 P. Zachary Taylor coin were accidentally struck on experimental planchets, meaning the metal used wasn't the standard golden manganese brass, but a completely different composition. Never intended for public release, these ultra-rare error coins were often slipped into circulation unnoticed, and some may still be sitting quietly in people's coin jars, forgotten collections, or pocket change. That's what makes this such a thrilling mystery. You could literally be holding one in your hand and never know it unless you look closely. What should you look for? First, check the rim. All presidential dollars were supposed to have edge inscriptions, including the year, mint mark, and mottos like E Pluribus Unum. But some Zachary Taylor coins from 2009 came out completely smooth on the edge, no writing at all. That was a major mistake and makes the coin significantly more valuable. Next, weigh your coin. Experimental planchets may be slightly heavier or lighter than the standard. A tiny difference in weight, sometimes just a fraction of a gram, could be the clue that you've got something extremely special. Also, keep an eye out for striking errors like double images, misaligned dies, or off-center portraits. These kinds of minting flaws turn ordinary coins into headline-making collectibles. The beauty of this story is that the coin is modern, accessible, and still circulating. Unlike ancient coins or ultra-limited collector editions, this is a coin that could realistically show up in a coin roll, a cash register, or a forgotten coin jar. That's what makes this treasure hunt so exciting. You never know when or where one might appear. Now you might be wondering, just how much can one of these rare 2009 presidential gold dollar coins be worth if it has the right combination of errors or unique features? Are you ready for the number? Because one of these elusive coins, verified to be a rare variation struck at the Philadelphia Mint with a minting anomaly, was once valued at $345,000. That's right, $345,000 for a $1 coin. Don't overlook those golden presidential dollars. That little coin in your change could be more than just a nod to history. It could be a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Second rare coin, we're spotlighting a very special piece, the the U.S. presidential $1 coin from 2008, featuring the sixth president of the United States, John Quincy Adams, and minted at the Philadelphia Mint. It's one of those coins you may have seen, maybe even held, and thought nothing of. But what if I told you this very coin could be hiding a fortune? Let's take a step back for a moment. In 2007, the U.S. Mint launched the Presidential Dollar Coin Program, a bold move to celebrate America's leaders and bring the $1 coin back into everyday use. Each year, new coins were released in order of presidential terms, and by 2008, we reached the sixth president, John Quincy Adams. John Quincy Adams, son of founding father John Adams, was known for his sharp intellect, diplomatic skills, and fierce advocacy for civil liberties. And while his presidency might not be the most talked about in classrooms today, the coin bearing his name and image is now one of the most intriguing in the entire presidential dollar series. The 2008 P version, minted in Philadelphia, features Adams' stern portrait on the front, with inscriptions wrapping neatly around the edge. On the reverse, you'll find the familiar image of the Statue of Liberty, radiating strength and freedom. The coin is golden in color, but isn't actually made of gold. It's a mix of copper, zinc, manganese, and nickel, designed to give the illusion of a precious metal. But here's the twist. Some of these coins have become precious in a completely unexpected way. While millions of presidential dollars were produced, not all were created equally. The real value lies in the imperfections, the rare minting errors, the unusual varieties, and the anomalies that slipped past quality control. And for the 2008 P John Quincy Adams dollar, there are some truly extraordinary examples that collectors would do anything to get their hands on. What makes this coin so special? Some 2008 John Quincy Adams dollars were struck without the edge inscriptions. Normally, each presidential dollar features lettering along the edge, things like the mint mark, the motto, "In God We Trust," and the year of minting. But a small number of coins were released without these inscriptions, making them stand out as genuine mint errors. Other versions were struck off-center, double-struck, or even on incorrect planchets being the blank discs that are stamped into coins. Imagine finding a gold-colored presidential dollar coin that was mistakenly struck on a planchet meant for a different denomination. These mistakes are exceedingly rare and instantly transform a simple dollar coin into a numismatic masterpiece, but it gets even better. Rumors and reports have surfaced about a few 2008 P John Quincy Adams coins that were struck using prototype dies or early test materials, coins that were never supposed to be released to the public. These ultra-rare test strikes were meant for internal mint evaluation, but somehow, a few of them made their way into circulation or private hands. Now, this is where the real treasure hunt begins. Because these coins aren't sitting in a museum or locked away in a vault. They could be anywhere. In a dusty coin jar, inside an old purse, or tucked away in a forgotten box of collectibles. You could already own one and not even realize it. How do you know if your coin is special? Start by inspecting the edge. Missing inscriptions or edge lettering that's misaligned or doubled can be major indicators of a mint error. Check the surface for unusual details, like doubling in the lettering or odd coloring or texture. Weighing the coin can also provide clues, especially if it's significantly off from the standard weight of a presidential dollar, which is about 8.1 grams. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. How much could one of these ultra-rare 2008 P John Quincy Adams presidential dollars be worth? If you happen to own one of these unique coins, one struck in error or using rare materials from the early testing phases, and if it's in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could be worth as much as $100,000. Yes, you heard that right. $100,000. That's an unbelievable amount for a coin with just a $1 face value. But for collectors, rarity and history are priceless, and the 2008 P John Quincy Adams dollar checks all the boxes. Third expensive coin, we're diving into the year 2000, a time when Y2K fears were settling down, flip phones were still a thing, and the US Mint was getting ready to shake up the world of coin collecting. That year, the Mint introduced a brand new $1 coin featuring a powerful American icon, Saka Jawia, the young Native American guide who helped lead the Lewis and Clark expedition across the uncharted American frontier. Now, let's be clear. While many people casually refer to these golden coins as presidential dollars, the Sacagawea dollar came first. And it laid the foundation for the presidential dollar series that followed later in 2007. But the 2000p Sacagawea dollar, minted in Philadelphia, has a special story all its own, and some of these coins are unlike anything else ever produced. On the surface, this coin looks straightforward. Sacagawea, shown in profile with her infant son Jean-Baptiste on her back, surrounded by soft golden hues, symbolizing her strength, guidance, and legacy. The reverse shows a soaring eagle in flight, surrounded by stars. The entire design is rich with meaning and represents a turning point in American coinage. But here's where things get fascinating. While the 2000p Sacagawea dollar was minted in the millions for circulation, a few special versions were struck under mysterious and unusual circumstances. These include test strikes, experimental pieces, and even coins that were struck on the wrong type of metal. And one particular version of this coin has captured the attention of collectors across the world. Imagine this, a coin that looks like any other golden dollar, but it wasn't meant for the public. It wasn't made for circulation. It was created for one reason, to be sent as a sample, a prototype, a test of the mint's capabilities. Yet somehow it escaped into the wild. We're talking about the rare 2000p Sacagawea dollar struck on a different coin blank entirely, in this case, a coin planchet intended for another country, another denomination, or another metal composition altogether. These wrong planchet errors are incredibly rare. Sometimes the mistake wasn't discovered until long after the coin had been released. By then, it was already in a roll, a bank bag, or even tucked away in someone's pocket, never realizing they were holding a one-in-a-million mistake. There are even versions where the Sacagawea design was accidentally paired with the edge lettering from a presidential dollar, or where certain letters are doubled, the weight is off, or the color and sound are subtly different. These anomalies, tiny as they may seem, can transform an ordinary dollar coin into a true collector's gem. So, how can you tell if your 2000p dollar coin is special? Start with the weight. A standard Sacagawea dollar weighs about 8.1 grams. If yours is heavier or lighter, you might have something unusual. Next, check for any doubling in the letters, especially Liberty or In God We Trust. Examine the color. Does it have a strange tone, shine, or texture? These are clues that you might not be looking at a regular coin at all, and don't forget, some of these error coins weren't found until years later. Collectors discovered them by accident, tucked inside old bank rolls, family coin boxes, or estate collections. That means there are still more of these rare 2000p coins out there, waiting to be found. And now, let's talk value. You've been patiently waiting to know just how much one of these rare Sacagawea coins could be worth if you're lucky enough to discover one. If you come across one of these elusive, error-struck 2000p Sacagawea dollar coins, especially those struck on the wrong planchet or an early test coin released by mistake, and it's in mint or uncirculated condition, it could be worth as much as $150,000. That's right. $150,000 for a coin most people wouldn't even glance at twice. So, next time you're going through your old coins, checking the change you got at the store, or unwrapping a forgotten coin roll, keep your eyes open. Because among those familiar faces and golden gleams, there just might be a coin hiding a secret, one that could change your life. Especially, we're talking about a golden dollar that pays tribute to one of America's most influential founding fathers, the fourth President of the United States, James Madison. The year was 2007, and the U.S. Mint had just launched one of its most ambitious coin programs, the Presidential $1 Coin Series. This coin series was designed to celebrate each U.S. president in the order of their service, and it started off with a bang. For new coins were released each year, and in 2007, one of them featured none other than James Madison, the principal architect of the Constitution, the man behind the Bill of Rights, and one of the most brilliant minds in American history. Now, the James Madison presidential dollar minted in Philadelphia, marked with a subtle P on the edge, is more than just a historical tribute. It's part of a modern coin series that aimed to bring the $1 coin back into daily life. But while millions of these coins were produced, only a tiny handful ended up being truly extraordinary. Let's talk about the design for a moment. On the front, or obverse, we see a striking portrait of President Madison. It's bold, detailed, and designed to reflect the intelligence and strength of a man who helped shape an entire nation. On the back, or reverse, you'll find the image of the Statue of Liberty, shining as a beacon of hope, framed in golden tones that make the coin feel regal and important. But don't be fooled by the surface. What makes the 2007 P. James Madison dollar coin stand out isn't always what you see at first glance. It's what lies beneath, or what's missing entirely, because among the millions of coins that rolled off the presses at the Philadelphia Mint, a rare few were struck with errors. And not just small imperfections, but significant minting mistakes that instantly made them collector's gold. Some of these coins were released without edge lettering, missing the mint mark, the date, and even the national motto, E pluribus unum. That alone created a buzz in the coin collecting world. Others were double-stamped, off-center, or struck on planchets meant for completely different coins. Some were even produced using prototype materials or unfinished experimental blanks. Think about that for a second. A coin created in a modern U.S. minting facility, meant to be perfectly standardized, ended up with flaws so rare that experts couldn't even determine how many exist. That kind of mystery is what makes these coins so valuable. But here's what really takes things to the next level. In the world of numismatics, rarity is everything. When a coin is common, even in perfect condition, it might fetch a few dollars. But when a coin is both rare and historically important, the value skyrockets, especially when it's tied to a figure like James Madison, who literally helped write the foundation of American democracy. And here's the kicker. Many of these rare 2007 P. James Madison dollars are still out there. That's right. They were released into circulation. They weren't all caught or set aside. Some ended up in people's pockets, change jars, or bank rolls, totally unnoticed. Which means one of them could be sitting in your collection right now, waiting to be discovered. So, how do you know if you've got a valuable one? Start by inspecting the edge. No lettering? That's your first sign. Weigh the coin. If it comes in significantly lighter or heavier than the standard 8.1 grams, you might have a wrong planchet error. Use a magnifying glass to look for doubling in the text or portrait. And finally, keep an eye out for any discoloration, odd textures, or uneven strikes. These aren't flaws, they're golden clues. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. If you happen to come across one of these elusive and extremely rare 2007 P. James Madison presidential dollars, especially one with a major minting error or a prototype blank, and it's in exceptional condition, authenticated and graded, it could be worth as much as $520,000. Yes, you heard that right. $520,000 for a coin with a face value of just $1. That's the magic of coin collecting. It's not just about old metal, it's about history, mystery, and the thrill of the hunt. And every now and then, it's about finding something truly life-changing. So don't dismiss those golden dollars in your drawer. Check your change. Open that old coin folder. Because one of the most valuable coins in modern U.S. history could be waiting for you to notice it. Last unique coin, we're taking a closer look at the 2009 U.S. presidential $1 coin featuring America's 9th president, William Henry Harrison. It might look like a typical dollar coin, but hold on, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why collectors across the country are on the hunt for one very special version of this coin, and why it could be worth an absolute fortune. Let's rewind the clock to 2009. The U.S. Mint was well into its presidential dollar coin program, a series that honored each American president in the order they served, with 4 new coins released every year. It was an ambitious project meant to celebrate history and also to reintroduce the $1 coin into daily circulation. In that year, one of the featured leaders was William Henry Harrison, the 9th President of the United States. Known for having the shortest presidency in American history, just 31 days, Harrison's time in office was brief, but his legacy lives on through this coin. The 2009 D version, struck at the Denver Mint, features a bold portrait of Harrison on the obverse, his name circling above his head, and the years of his presidency stamped just below. On the reverse is the unmistakable image of the Statue of Liberty, arms raised, holding the torch of freedom. The coin has that signature golden shine, even though it's not real gold. It's a manganese brass alloy made to resemble the rich tone of a precious metal. Now here's where things start to get exciting. While millions of these coins were made, only a tiny number contain a rare and mysterious flaw, the kind of minting error that turns a common coin into a collector's dream. You see, the presidential dollar coins are unique in their design not just for the faces they feature, but because they have edge inscriptions, tiny lettering on the edge of the coin that includes the year, the mint mark, and phrases like E pluribus unum and In God We Trust. But in some rare cases, the machinery at the mint didn't perform as intended. Coins slipped through without any edge lettering at all, or with edge lettering that was doubled, misaligned, or even upside down. But that's just the beginning. A very small number of the 2009 D. William Henry Harrison dollars were struck on planchets that weren't meant for the series at all. Whether due to leftover blanks from previous years or minting experiments that went off course, these wrong planchet errors are incredibly rare. Imagine a coin designed for the Harrison dollar, but struck on a planchet intended for a foreign coin, a Susan V. Anthony dollar, or a test coin made from experimental materials. These are the kinds of minting mysteries that create massive buzz in the numismatic world. And yes, some of these coins were released into circulation, never meant to be discovered. They ended up in pockets, cash drawers, and even forgotten coin rolls sitting in homes across America. You could be one of the few lucky people holding onto a coin that appears completely ordinary until a closer inspection reveals its true identity. What should you be looking for? Start with the edge. If there's no inscription or if the text is misaligned or doubled, you're already looking at something unusual. Next, check the weight. If it's not right around the expected 8.1 grams, that's a red flag in a good way. Any coin that's too light, too heavy, or made from an odd-colored metal might have been struck on a non-standard blank. Look closely at the surface for texture differences, doubling, or misprints. Every detail matters, and don't worry, you don't have to be an expert to start your hunt. With a little curiosity, a magnifying glass, and maybe a small scale, you could be the next person to find one of these ultra-rare Harrison dollar coins, because now, let's talk about what everyone wants to know: the value. If you happen to uncover one of these extremely rare 2009 D. William Henry Harrison presidential dollars, especially a version struck on the wrong planchet, or one that has a confirmed and significant minting error, and if it's in mint or near uncirculated condition, professionally graded and authenticated, it could be worth as much as $380,000. That's right, $380,000 for a $1 coin. That's not a collector's myth. That's not wishful thinking. That's real value, driven by rarity, history, and the thrill of the unexpected. And the best part? These coins are still out there. They weren't locked in vaults or sold at auctions. They were accidentally released into the world, into circulation, into the hands of everyday people just like you. Before you spend that golden dollar, take a second look. Because what might seem like an ordinary coin could be the key to an extraordinary story. If you found this video exciting and you're ready for more rare coin revelations, don't forget to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a moment. We've got plenty more coin mysteries, hidden gems, and jaw-dropping values coming your way. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep hunting, keep learning, and never underestimate the value of what's in your pocket.